Mixtapes and Tasty Cakes podcast. I'm Bert Lepore. He's Samuel Monte Carlo. We're hanging here with Angry Mike D, and we talk about music, movies, and so much more.
All right, Detroit! You wanted the best! You got the best! The hottest band in the world!
All right, we're back. Another episode, Mixtapes and Tasty Cakes. This is our Christmas special, Merry Kissmas special, and we decided to rank all the Kiss studio records. So
I hope that shit ain't copyrighted or we're done.
Merry Kissmas.
I think we're done just from mentioning Kiss.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Yeah.
But we ranked all 20 studio records. So that's no live records, no compilations, no solo albums, just the 20 studio records. And basically what we did is we asked a bunch of people. I think we got about 16 people, and they all voted. Everybody put their own rankings up, and Bert compiled the total. We averaged everything out.
Yeah. Then Dame compiled it again because my total was wrong.
Yeah, Bert had a couple mistakes. Like I don't know. I think I had the Elder ranked 20, and he had the Elder. He said that I had it ranked 29th. So
29th.
That's
Bert
how
math.
much he hates it.
Yeah,
It's a mistake.
Bert math
I'm
doesn't
gonna
always add up. So
When I had the goggles on.
I'm not the biggest Kiss fan in the world, but I know they got less than 29 studio albums.
Yeah.
yeah, well, the interesting thing about this list is there were two ties in here. So I guess for the tiebreaker, when we get to those two, what we'll do for the tiebreaker, since there's 5 of us here, we'll vote. The 5 of us will vote and see what the tiebreaker is. So there's actually 2 ties in here, and from like 14th, from like 11th to 14th, they're like very, very close. So any of them pretty much could have been interchangeable there. And then also from like number 2 to 5 is very close too. So yeah, I mean, it seemed like 17, 18, 19, and 20, everything was pretty much, actually, I should say 15 to 20, everything was pretty much set. I mean, everyone had those pretty close. So, but yeah, I guess we'll start off with number 20. And real quick, how could we forget? We got 2 guests.
Yeah.
They've been here many times. Greg Gorey and Ahmed Smith joining us today.
Yeah.
Kiss aficionados.
Yeah. Yeah. Greg hasn't been on for a while. We've been trying to get Greg for the last couple months. Yeah. He's been busy. Bark at the Moon's doing pretty well. I know he's playing a lot of shows.
Barking at the Moon.
Yeah.
Barking at the Moon.
Yeah. Before we get into it,
we're actually taking a small break right now. We're on a break for at least 6 months. We're actually looking for a new drummer soon. So
Oh man.
Yeah. So we're on a break right now. Much needed.
yeah, that's all right. Yeah. I mean, listen, wintertime's tough anyway,
Winter and summer are the worst seasons for us.
Yeah. It's you got to get them in between spots. That's because it's too much, the winter. Who the fuck wants it snows? You're like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Nobody wants to do that.
Right.
Nobody wants to do that. We're gonna all start throwing concerts from the house. Fuck it. Subscribe. We'll be like OnlyFans. We'll be our OnlyFans.
The Bert's Basement Tour.
Hey, listen,
Yeah.
if I can do it with other
in the hut, shows from the hut.
Yeah.
First hut.
I'll make close to the Yoda hut, my basement, because everything's small, everything's low. I don't realize it because I'm short, so I don't notice.
Dude,
it's
I gotta
small.
walk down your basement steps sideways.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Greg, you definitely be ducking. You be come down.
Yeah. You feel like Andre the Giant down there.
I'm smooth. I'm in and out. No big deal.
Oh yeah, it's perfect for you.
Perfect. It's like the Yoda hut. I love it. Yeah.
It's going to go from Studio 56 to the Yoda Hut. I think it's what it's going to be.
There you go.
The Voodoo
The hut.
Yoda Hut, something like that.
Yeah, I actually really like it.
Yoda 56.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it. I like it. Oh, all right, guys. So we're going to start this countdown. Coming in at number 20, as no surprise, I think, to any of us, Monster. Damo, what's your thoughts on this?
Yeah, this one, yeah. I mean, number 20. I mean, it was the last studio record they made. Man, I did not like this at all. It just seemed I don't know. Just seemed like it was kind of like rushed, incomplete. Just like a bad attempt, to try to, I don't know. It wasn't even like reminiscent of like their old stuff. I don't know what they were trying to do, but I really think they're trying to go for that number one record because Sonic Boom debuted at number 2.
Sonic Boom kind of got jerked off from Michael Bubble.
Yeah,
Michael
which
Bublé.
is right. He kind of got they kind of got screwed on that one. So I really feel that they wanted to take another shot.
Yeah.
At a number one record because at that point record sales overall, if you sell 50,000 records in your first week, you could probably debut at number one. So I guess they kind of I always felt that that's the reason why they put that out now. But out of everyone who we asked, 16 people, I mean, it was most people ranked it at like 20 or 19. And 2 people, the highest it ranked, they both voted for 14. Actually, 3 people had 14, including you, Mike.
Yeah.
Ahmed had it at 19.
So what did I have this at 14?
You had us ranked 14, but 2 other people actually had it at 14 too. Everyone else had it like 19, 20.
You, Ahmed, and Greg all had it at 19.
Yeah,
I had it 19. Yeah.
That's crazy. Man, what's your
Bert had it
feeling?
at 20.
What's your feelings on Monster, man?
I didn't think it was a bad album. I liked it. It's just wasn't one of my favorites. It's definitely like a sign of the times type thing. Sound like Kiss. And what was the year it came out?
2012.
Yeah, like 2012. Now I think the reason why they did it, I think anyway, was just because the fans were pressuring them to do another album. That's the only real reason why I think they did it. I mean, it's not bad,
Yeah. Greg, any thoughts on it?
Well, let me just get out of the way that I like every Kiss album, and for different reasons.
Yeah,
that's why they're
same
my favorite.
shit.
And so the list I provided is just pretty much how I'm feeling this week. It'll probably be different tomorrow, depending on what my mood is. But yeah, I ranked it at number 19, just because, like, I think. Same reasons for that Ahmed and Damien mentioned. It just came out just to come out. Like, I mean, Sonic Boom came out pretty hot. Everyone seemed very pleased with it, and even critics, which is not normal. But so like I think they just tried to do that, and I think we're really now that time's gone by. Of course, everything has to stand test of time to really appreciate it or determine your true feelings on it. It's not something I throw on a lot. It kind of doesn't have the legs that it did. Maybe even when it came out, I wasn't as excited because I was so pleased with Sonic Boom for what I was expecting. And at that point, I'm just like, if they make another album, cool. But I don't need another album. Like the hype just wasn't there. And it did well though. So Kiss fans bought it. It was I think it was in the top 10 when it came out.
Yeah.
You guys buy everything.
Yeah, my that's a
true.
But I think my 2 biggest gripes on the album that it just seemed like songs that probably could have made Sonic Boom, but everything on Sonic Boom was better.
Mm-hmm.
Like leftovers.
Yeah, just leftover stuff just put on. And I didn't like Gene's lyrics. He literally recycled lyrics from literally just 3 years ago.
Yeah,
put on the same song.
Bad.
And what was it? Let your backbone slip. I think.
That line. I'm tired of that line.
Yeah. I mean, and also the logo. of the album. It was like,
That
okay,
monster.
Yeah.
For a band that
Gene just
license
look at the monster
everything,
logo?
right? You know,
Did
for a
Gene just
band that
drink a
license
Monster?
everything, it's ridiculous, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All the bitching they do with the
I
licensing
agree.
stuff. Come on, you're
And I thought the
blatantly
artwork
using it.
was. Yeah, I thought the artwork
I like the
wasn't that great
picture.
too.
I like the
I-
picture,
The
but
picture's cool, but they could have did better. They should have did something like the Universal Monsters or work out something with that and do something cool like that.
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
very
it-
disappointed.
it just looked like a promo picture with the
Yeah.
Monster Energy logo.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Right.
You know, that's
Lazy.
my
It was
that's my
lazy.
two biggest gripes.
Dude, you
I
know
mean,
what's
I
funny?
still like it. I mean, like, go ahead. What?
You know what's funny is that knowing Gene, they probably were trying to strike a deal with Monster Energy, and they probably got something with the logo. You know what I mean? Because that's blatantly 110% the logo. You know?
Oh God, yeah. Also,
Yo,
the name
I'm-
Monster.
I'm
It-
real quick. I'm really surprised they didn't have Kiss Monster energy drinks coming out around.
Right.
Great
I know.
idea.
Missed
that would've been.
opportunity.
It would have been a
Missed
great
opportunity.
marketing ploy.
And remember that giant book that came out?
Yeah.
That
That
thing was
was a
like
big bomb.
3 G's. I'm like,
Yeah, that was a big bomb.
Yeah, who's buying that? Yeah, it's crazy.
no, that's a car.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so for me, Monster, it was okay. Listen, I'm happy just to get something else with Kiss on it, you know. So
Me too.
you know, I'm happy with that. So if they decide to put out another record, you know, I understand Paul's thinking on the why should we make another record? Nobody cares. I feel like that every day with my stuff, you know. So it's like I get what he's saying, but I mean, I'm not the biggest Cheap Trick guy, but Cheap Trick he still puts out decent records. Just you're an artist.
Yeah,
put
they
out-
don't play.
put out
Any,
stuff.
I don't think they even play anything from the albums that are post their prime.
Right.
At least
Crazy.
Kiss plays 1 or 2 songs still from
Yeah.
those last 2 albums just to
Yeah.
represent the current lineup.
Yeah. All right, guys. So coming in at number 19, Sonic Boom, Damo.
I love this record, man. I loved it when it came out. I still love it now. I ranked this the highest at everybody. I ranked it at number 10. Everybody wanted a classic Kiss record. They gave you a classic Kiss record. Gene's playing the way those killer walking bass lines like he used to. His lyrics, they had that kind of like tongue-in-cheek tone that he had in like the Rock and Roll Over, Love Gun period. I mean, the sound is really stripped down. I mean, the songs like, you know, Russian Roulette and Hot and Cold, Dangerous. Yes, I Know, Nobody's Perfect. I mean, they're just like typical Kiss songs, like, you know. But you know, I guess because they're the newest, maybe people don't know them that much. It's why it seems like just about everybody gave it a 19.
I
But,
think Russian Roulette was on an
Demo.
Asylum demo or something.
Yeah, it was like a couple.
Yeah,
of
it sounded
Kiss
different.
songs
It didn't
were,
sound the same. It sounded different too.
Yeah, it sounded recycled.
Yeah.
Which, you know, well, not I wouldn't say recycled, but like redubbed. You know, pretty much reworked.
Yeah, but it definitely perfected it. You know.
Yeah.
But my only gripe about it is that, and I think Paul produced the record, but I guess he didn't really look inward in himself, because if you really want it to be a classic record, like he I don't know if you guys noticed this, but this is maybe me over analyzing it, but he like over enunciates things now. Like if you listen to him talk now, and then listen to interviews from like back in the 70s, like he was like some like uneducated like street kid, you know,
Yeah.
like very New York accent. Now he's like, you know, he's a multi-millionaire, and he wines.
Well,
and
he hangs
dines
around
in-
with Gene now, so
Well, he wines and
He's
dines
been
in
with him forever.
finest
So
restaurants. He like learned how to speak. So it's like, you know, say like stand, you know, like
I don't like that song.
but back in the day he probably would have said, you know, more with like a New York swagger. Now he says it's like too perfect. It kind of lose like the danger.
I think he lost that New York swagger sometime in like the late
Yeah.
80s, early
Yeah.
90s. It's bound to happen as you get older, especially when you haven't lived in your hometown for a long time. You're like, you know, I mean, they all just became LA people.
Right.
Uh,
Well,
you
I
know,
think if they had a producer, like somebody on the outside, like what Skid Row just put out, like a classic record, like I think that probably would have been something like, you know, Yeah, Paul.
Follow.
Instead of saying yes, say yeah. You know,
Yeah.
you want to said yes. You know,
Yeah.
perfect. You know,
Yeah.
like all these words perfectly.
The hype was
You know.
great. I mean,
Oh,
I
yeah.
was hyped. I was hyped when it came out, and I do
Yeah.
like most of the songs on there. But I think it being a Walmart exclusive didn't help it at all.
It helped it for a second because I was like, hey, we're gonna get a bunch of cool stuff from Walmart, which I didn't see.
Well, there
anything.
was. Remember, they put out a bunch of a shitload of merch at that time.
I got a
But
I got a towel or
I
something.
was pissed because not every Walmart had it. Not every Walmart had the stand, and every Walmart near me didn't have them. And I got it when it came out. Like as soon as I woke up, I walked up to Walmart and bought it. You know?
Yeah, yeah, they didn't have
Did you get the?
Didn't see it.
Did you guys get the classics that came with it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Japanese
to go
stuff.
through with Sudan or something like that.
I
Yeah.
thought that was a missed opportunity to record the live versions of those songs, like Black Diamond.
To
They
record
would've
that.
added the ending that they do in Rio 83. They would have recorded that. It would have made more sense. It sounds like they tried to just remake
the originals,
songs the old
Yeah.
way instead of just being like, oh well, let's re-record these songs with Eric Singer playing his way or with Tommy Thayer playing his way.
Yeah.
I mean, if they would have recorded that with Bruce, I really don't think that Bruce would have followed Ace's solos note for note.
No,
I think they did that. I could be wrong, but I mean, I think they did that because I think there was some type of clause in their
Legal thing.
licensing contracts. I think they did that just so that way they can license those songs for commercials
Movies
and
and commercials.
advertising without having to take a cut from the album publishers that those original songs are on. I
Yeah.
think that's why they did it. Because if you notice,
A lot of bands were doing that.
yeah, since they did that, whenever you see anything Kiss related, it's
with
always
that.
those versions,
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
original versions.
But they
Right.
sound so thin. It doesn't.
Yeah.
It does. It was a half-ass reason. I think it was just for that reason, just so they can do that.
Yeah. So all right, guys, coming in at number, what are we on? Number 18.
This is the
Psycho
tie.
Circus.
This is the tie round.
Psycho Circus and Hot in the Shade battle it out.
Yeah.
So we're going
They
to take
tied.
turns and we're going to give our opinion on this. I'm going to go to Ahmed first since he loves Hot in the Shade so much. Hot in the Shade or Psycho Circus, Ahmed? What's your vote?
Psycho Circus.
Okay, reasoning.
I hate hot. Well, I don't hate Hot in the Shade. Let me just and just like what Greg said, I like all the Kiss albums, but just some a little bit less. Like I remember when this album came out and I saw 15 songs and I was all excited about it. Going through each song, I'm like, yo, this is definitely a filler song. Like, what the fuck is going on here? Read My Body is one of the worst Kiss songs
It's the
ever.
worst, maybe.
That song and like Cadillac Dreams, I'm like, what the fuck are they doing?
I love those songs. I
like
love.
that.
Well, Read My Body's
Yeah.
skip one.
There
But-
are some really good songs on there, though.
Yeah.
Rise to It's a good song. Betrayed's a good song. Hide Your Heart's a good song. Love Me to Hate You is a good song. King of
Yes.
Hearts is a good song.
Exactly.
Too many
Hearing-
songs.
Yeah, hearing
Forever,
the
one of the best
demos,
ballads ever.
there's like a whole other album right after Crazy Nights in between Hot in the Shade with songs that they could have used in place of, you know, some of the ones that
Jordan Stone.
actually that one's one
That's a
of
missed
them.
opportunity, that song, yeah.
Yeah, there's a couple other really good
Time
ones.
Traveler.
Yeah, and that should have been on Rocky 4.
Yeah.
Stone, what was that from? That was that Shocker?
No, Shocker was
That was for the movie Shocker.
for the movie Shocker.
But wait,
yeah.
what-
Yeah.
but
Another band
it was the
recorded
one
it,
with
though.
Paul Stanley on it. Like,
Yeah.
it was co-written with Paul Stanley.
Yeah, you're
No,
right,
but
though,
they
Mike.
did that.
It was
what was it off
Bonfire.
of? Though? That's-
Sort
It
of.
was
off
another
of
band
what?
played it.
Yeah.
What was that off of though?
Shocker.
Shocker. It was
It was
a
just a
Shocker.
Shocker
Okay.
soundtrack.
Yeah.
Right.
It was
Yeah.
specifically made
Mhm.
for the movie.
Yeah.
Right.
So, Ahmed, what are you going with, Psycho or Hot in the Shade?
Psycho Circus.
Okay, Psycho Circus. He's going with Mike D.
I
Hot
like
in the
Psycho
Shade or Psycho Circus?
Psycho Circus. I'm going to go with that because it had better album cover.
Okay, so far we got two shooting for Psycho ranking higher. Gregory.
I have to pick Hot in the Shade. I absolutely love Hot in the Shade. I just think the songs are great, and I don't know. I have an what's that word? I guess an affinity to Hot in the Shade for some reason. I don't know why. I just love it. The production sucks.
Yeah.
Production's terrible.
The demos.
Didn't Paul also produce this one?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, probably would have been better if someone was in there saying that ain't good. Don't put it on there. Like, I think that's the problem when any guy that's in the band
it's hard. Yeah.
produces their own album. You suffer from, like, it's like, again, like picking your favorite child. You just can't. You love them all. Let's put them on there. Like, you can't accept the criticisms.
Yeah. Damo, Hot in the Shade or Psycho Circus?
Well, not to draw this one out, but the way I ranked each record is I went song by song and I rated each song, and then I came up with like an average. And
damn,
total
you went
all up.
into it.
Yeah, because I wanted to be like as accurate as possible. So according to that, I had Psycho Circus a little bit higher. But if I had to pick one album or the other, I would pick Hot in the Shade. And what hurt Hot in the Shade, I think, was there was 15 songs. If they cut it down to like 10, if they would have like not put 5 songs on there, it would have been way higher. So I'm definitely
Which
going
5?
Read
That's a
My
good question.
Body.
Read My
definitely.
Body.
Cadillac Dreams is another one.
Boomerang. That
No,
could go.
I kind
I
of
I
like
like
Boomerang.
Boomerang.
I don't think
I kind of like Boomerang a little bit, but yeah,
Prisoner
it
of
was,
Love.
yeah, that Prisoner of Love. But like this
Silver Spoon's a great one.
Silver
I
Spoon
like
is
that one.
incredible.
I like
song,
Silver Spoon.
You know, so like if really if they would have got rid of like 4 or 5 songs, man, that album would have been so freaking great.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I got Hot in the Shade. That's my vote.
Okay, I'm also going to vote for Hot in the Shade. Psycho Circus is number 18 now ranked. I'm going to go with Hot in the
Yeah.
Shade because it's got Forever on it. It's got Betrayed on it. I like Somewhere Between Heaven and Hell. I do like that one.
That's a good song. I do like that.
It's not
song.
bad, yeah.
So
Of course, Hide Your Heart's been covered by every
Hide Your
band out
Heart,
there.
yeah. And the
Yeah. Their
Yeah, like
version's still
Dame
the
said.
best.
Of course.
the problem with Hot in the Shade is just way too many songs. If it was like a 10-song record, it'd been really, really, really good. Okay, so to review what we got: number 20, Monster; number 19, Sonic Boom; number 18, Psycho Circus; number 17, Hot in the Shade; and now we're hitting number 16, Crazy Nights. What do you got, Greg, for Crazy Nights?
I love Crazy Nights. I ranked it number 15. I do see the people's gripes against it for some reason. They compare it like the Bon Jovi-esque style. But I like that. I like it. I mean, I think Paul Stanley's voice was at its prime for this album. Like you ask any singer to sing like My Way or hell, just Crazy Nights, they'll have a hard time. Like,
Oh, yeah.
those are great songs. But yeah, I can see why people may not like it as much. I see a lot of hate for it, but I love Crazy Nights. It's such a great album.
You know what did it for me? I think it was Bang Bang You.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'll shoot
that
you down
was
with my love gun,
that
baby.
might have been on my top 5 worst Kiss songs.
Yeah, that's
What do you think of Let's Put the X in
you can
Sex?
put that up there.
Oh, horrible.
Oh, it's my
I
favorite
love
song.
it.
What are you talking
I
about?
listen
That's
to
my
that
absolute
all the
favorite.
time.
You and Dame like
I
that
love the
one.
lyrics. They're
Yeah,
cheesy.
that's my favorite.
I love that song so much. I love it.
Funny,
Yeah,
quick
me
funny
too.
story. I was on vacation. So I was on vacation. Mike went through all the Kiss stuff, and he kind of did it the way me and Damien do, where we break down each thing. And he said, "I'm all kissed out."
It took me 3 nights. 3 nights it took me.
He
Three
said,
crazy nights.
3 crazy nights. Yeah. He said, "I'm all kissed out." He said, "Listen, if you see the albums after Crazy Nights get ranked lower," he's like, "It's because at that time after Crazy Nights I was burnt." He's like, "I had enough." but yeah, so Mike was like, Damo, Crazy Nights. What's your highlight on that?
Yeah, I just give my thoughts. I never wasn't really that big of a fan up until maybe like 4 or 5 years ago. Then I really started to get into it and like it. Yeah, but my favorite track is Hell or High Water on there, man. I think that's such a great underrated Gene songs.
I love Turn on the Night.
Turn on the
Yeah.
Night's another one,
Yeah.
But yeah, I really like the record,
Yeah. Matt, anything on Crazy Nights?
I love Crazy Nights. I don't I don't get the hate on Crazy Nights other than, maybe people just don't like the keyboards or whatever.
Yeah.
Every single album that Kiss has ever done has been a sign of the times. And
Yeah.
if you're going to be any band, you have to, be able to change with the times and put your own stamp on it. I never,
Man, some of those times just weren't good though.
well,
Those are my
you
favorite era
go
of music.
look at anybody's catalog back then and compare it.
Yeah.
Some
Unless your name is
well,
AC/DC.
Yeah.
some
yeah,
did,
yeah.
some did well, some didn't, and as far I like Crazy. I really like Crazy Night. I got nothing bad to say about Crazy Night.
Me and you ranked it the same. Me and you ranked it at 13. Bird actually ranked it the highest out of anybody.
Out of
at
anybody,
10.
that's my highest different ranking
Yeah.
for the song than anybody. I ranked it at
And
number
Greg
10.
had it at 15. Mike had it at 20.
Yeah. I had it at 10. I really, really like this record. Even like the My Way song, it kind of sounds like, a Sammy Hagar end of a movie song, like one of those, but I like it. It's Paul's at his best, probably vocally.
I don't
like
even-
Greg was saying.
I don't even know why I gave When Your Wall's Coming Down a 1, but it must have been really bad.
It was probably the line where he says, "Here, kitty, kitty." Here,
Okay. Yep. Now I remember.
That could have been it, Mike. That could have been it.
Yeah.
But you gotta be honest, man. Sometimes you will put on a Kiss album just to hear that kind of shit.
That's
Yeah.
easy,
Absolutely.
That's easy.
The core, and that's why I love it's one of but then you have great lyrics all throughout Crazy Nights. It's a very unified type of thing,
Mhm.
the message of Crazy Nights is perfect for Kiss fans.
Yeah.
But I do like even Paul's honest with himself. He's like, yeah, we are corny.
Yeah,
He says it all the time. Yeah, we're corny, and it's funny. It's fun.
Yeah.
You got to take it with a grain of salt. And just
Gene will
If
be
they
like,
were straight up
Gene-
serious all the time, it wouldn't go over well.
Can you imagine
Uh-huh.
that? Can you imagine that interview? Paul going, yeah, we're corny. Gene like, and we're also horny. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Gene fucking lying.
I can picture that.
But we're also
Exactly.
horny.
We could probably sit here and have a Kiss interview ourselves because of the lines that they've said over and
Yeah.
over again.
Oh,
Over and
yeah.
I
over.
would welcome that conversation with open arms and open legs.
Yeah, right.
yeah.
Gene, can you stick your tongue out? Well, the floor is a little dirty today.
Yeah. The best Gene,
It's
the
like
best
gymnasium. See, that's a very big word.
Like gymnasium.
Yeah. The best Gene line was on the
see what I
Oprah
did
Winfrey
there?
show. When he said that, she's like, "Well, Gene, how long is your tongue?" He said, "Long enough to make you my close and personal friend." That was the best
Yeah.
Gene line ever.
I love it. That's the best response.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why you turn that stuff on, because you want to see him say stuff like that.
Yeah,
It's
I love
fun. It's just Kiss is just the epitome of fun music, fun rock and roll metal music. It's
Yeah.
great.
it. All right, guys, coming in at number 15, Carnival of Souls. Mike D, you had this the highest.
I
Yeah.
like this
Yeah.
album. I really did. I'm sorry, I know they tried to do a little grunge experiment there, but for me, it was almost the whole album was pretty much listenable, straight through. It really wasn't that bad, except for maybe the last couple of tracks.
Yeah, I think for I like this record too, and this is funny because for all my friends that are the serious musicians that can't stand Kiss, I always give them this record to listen to. I'm like, no, but look, they could do this. They could do this. Look,
Mhm.
look, like a little kid, Look, they could play this. Check this out, They could do Alice in
Me
Chains,
I hated it when it came out, but another one. I mean, it's grown on me over the years, and
They're good
I actually
songs.
do like it.
They are good songs.
Everybody pretty much ranked this pretty much around the same, right in the in the middle teens.
Yeah. I had this at 12. Mike had it at 4, and everybody else was kind of like 15, 16, 17.
I ranked
Right.
it 17 because, I love this album. I think every song's pretty much good. And to kind of recap what Ahmed said about their, sign of the times type thing, Kiss never gets credit for being good musicians. They never have. And to me, if you can make to me personally, whenever I hear any Kiss album, it still sounds like Kiss in some way or another. To me, a true songwriter can take different styles and still give it their stamp of approval and do it well. And I think Kiss always done that. No matter what style it was, they're like, okay, we're gonna take this and make a Kiss.
Yeah.
I think that's a sign of talent, really good talent.
Yeah.
And
I'm
I love I love the sound. I do like Alice in Chains. I like that they went with that route instead of, the other type of grunge bands like Nirvana. Like I
Right.
prefer Alice in Chains. Um, but I do understand like it isn't the most honest Kiss album because even Paul said it, like how can I be a millionaire with the success I had with Kiss and be depressed?
Right.
Like, like it is dishonest. It was a little too disingenuous with the message and whatnot and the feel of it. But I just think, just song wise, it's very good as a song.
I agree. I agree. It's like you were talking with the musicianship, and I remember showing this to my dad one time because like I said, Kiss never gets credit for how good they are as musicians. And yeah, I'm sure you guys seen this, some the behind the scenes stuff in the studio where Eric Carr, Gene, and Paul are doing the Beatles stuff, and they're taking time playing like the little
Yeah,
Beatles medley. It's unbelievable.
yeah,
It's so
yeah.
good.
Mhm.
So I always show
I've
people
seen
that too.
Gene.
You know,
I've seen Gene when I went to see them on Letterman Live in 2012, and when he walked up to Anton Fig, which of course as a geek I was really into that. He was jamming with the house band when they weren't rolling. He was jamming with the house bands, and he was just wailing on the bass. Like
yeah,
it
it
was
was
great. Like
great.
even Paul had to go over and tell him like, "Yo, we're about to start. Stop."
All right, Ahmed, you want to add anything to this one?
Yeah, I like this album. Following Revenge, I was expecting something equally as heavy, if not heavier, and it definitely came across that way. Another one of those Sign of the Times albums. See, I wasn't one of those people who wanted Kiss to make the same album over and over again. It's just like, it seems, if you ask like the typical Kiss fan, like they'll probably want them to make Rock and Roll Over and Love Gun like all over again. If I want to hear those albums, I'll just listen to those ones.
Mhm.
But
I agree.
something like Carnival of Souls at that time, put it to you this way: if it was Ace and Peter trying to do that, I don't think it would have came off as well. But
Mhm.
with
I agree.
Eric Singer and Bruce Kulick, it was perfect.
That's the Bruce.
Definitely,
That and Revenge of the Bruce records. Really, they're
yeah,
really great. Bruce
Oh
records.
yeah.
definitely for that time. Yeah, I was into it.
Yep.
I can put myself into where it is right now. I'm like, okay, this is Kiss in when they recorded. I think it was 95 when they were
Yeah,
recording.
95 and 96.
Yeah, so you figure everything that's going on right now. You can't help but to be musically absorbed in what's going on around you at the time.
Especially especially with how grunge turned the entire rock scene upside down.
Yeah.
And considering Kiss is like one of the top, if not the top hair band, even in the 70s,
Yeah.
like they were always the glam band in every way. So the fact that they could still survive, or at least struggling to survive during this time, I think that's, it was smart.
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't mind it when they or any other band decides to be different for an album, because
I agree.
I can always be like, okay, well, I don't like this one as much, and then listen to the other ones.
Yep.
So
Some of my favorite bands are bands that just change up from album to album.
Yeah.
So
Sure.
I'd rather be, a little surprised on different things than, okay, I know what I'm going to get.
that's
okay.
a Prince record. Prince
And-
does it every record.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
He doesn't
David
get
Bowie
enough
too.
credit.
Same thing. Yeah, he don't get enough credit either. Yep. All right, guys. So coming in at number 14, The Misunderstood, The Elder. Damo, what you got on The Elder?
I ranked this the lowest. I had it ranked at number 20, not because I don't like it, because there's parts of it that I do like, but there's a lot of it that just like leaves me scratching my head. Like Odyssey, it's like a fucking Broadway song. I always thought I was cheesy.
Yeah.
Fanfare, can't really count that, but like Just a Boy and shit like that. But something like The Oath, I think I gave that song just like a 5. Man, it's a fucking killer song.
Yeah.
I like A World Without Heroes.
Under the Rose
Escape
is a
from the
great song.
Island. Yeah, I mean, so it was a weird record. It is what it is. It's when you want, when you want to listen to something a little, Yeah, I mean, one person actually ranked it number one. Nicolino. He ranked that number one. His
Did he
favorite
really?
Kiss record.
Wow.
Yeah, that blows my mind.
Sometimes
Right
I
there.
question why people rank this number one. I'm in a lot of Kiss fan groups and whatnot on Facebook, and some people say Music from the Elder is my favorite. I'm like, are you just saying that, or
Just-
do you really
right,
feel that, or are you
because-
just saying that to be the contrarian in the group?
Yeah, I mean, I could see you putting it in like around 10 or something because it's something different or whatever.
Yeah.
But to give it number one, I mean, that's like saying you expect them to be like, this is the Kiss that I love, the Elder.
Right, like
Yeah,
yeah,
just
like, I
weird.
mean, to me, I feel like, are you really being honest with yourself? I mean, if you are, sure, cool. If you really feel that way, but I question if you really do. And I
Yeah.
also ranked it number 20, just same reasons. Like, there's a lot of stuff that I just think is just corny. I'm not into the whole Dungeons and Dragons type thing,
Yeah.
even though I do love Dio. But yeah, but even some of his stuff I can't listen to. So yeah, I have to say it ranks last, but the songs that are really good are killer. And
Right. That's how I
we
feel.
saved the
Yeah.
album.
Like
Ahmed,
Hot in the
favorite-
Shade. Same deal with that.
Ahmed, favorite song off of The Elder? You do like
Me
I.
too.
Like I love it. Like I remember when this album came out. I loved everything about it. The only song I didn't like was Odyssey. I felt like that was too left for me. That's when I was just like, wait a minute, they're really going off the deep end here. But
That's a
stuff
weird
like
one.
Fanfare just seemed like a just a little interlude thing. It didn't really seem like anything. But Escape from the Island, Mr. Blackwell, The Oath, Dark Light.
Yeah,
Dark Light's
sure.
probably had my favorite Ace guitar solo in it.
I agree.
That's cool.
I
So
agree.
Only You.
It's different. Only Use a great song.
Yo.
I like
Yeah,
the
really
guitar
dark.
in that song.
Mr.
Very
Yeah,
dramatic.
so it's just one of those albums like again, and like it was different, and I got it. I was right there with it. I was down with it. That whole
think-
little Elder time is like it's like interesting because there's no other Kiss album that's like that. That's what makes that album and Carnival of Souls so cool.
Yeah, it stands out the most just because it's so different. I think it would be better if the concept made sense. Like it was.
There was more to go to it.
Well,
Yeah.
the concept is basically Star Wars.
Yeah.
It is
Yeah, it's
basically,
crazy.
but it was very incoherent in the message.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or if they would have just waited a little bit and scrapped the concept and took that and Killers and put it together.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Hard
Because the
agree.
4 songs
Yes.
of Killers would have been great on there.
Absolutely. Those are amazing 4 songs off
Mhm.
Killers.
Mhm.
That should have been on.
Yeah.
That,
Like
I
if
think
they
that
would've
would have
scrapped out Fanfare and Odyssey and put those other
Yeah.
4 songs in it.
I
Mike
think
D.
it would have been more support for it if they had it.
Any thoughts on The Elder?
I mean, I heard this before, and this is the album everybody was like, oh, this is probably more your style. And like, I'm into the prog stuff, but not like, I don't know, not that. It's almost
Not
on the
weird.
level with like, yes, I don't know. I'm more into like the metal prog.
Yeah.
So this, I mean, it was better than I thought and worse than I thought at the same time, kind of. I think I actually gave it middle of the road.
You did. Yeah, you did. I think you gave it 10, which wasn't bad.
Third.
That's right in the middle.
Yeah.
Right?
10.
Yeah. All right, guys. So coming in at number 13, I'm going to go first on this one because this was a surprise for me. Animalized. And if you would have asked me which one of your least favorite Kiss albums, I probably, off the top of my head, would be like Animalized. But I ranked Animalized 17, which isn't horrible. It's a better album than I remember.
11.
I ranked it 11.
Yeah.
There you go. Okay, I
I
ranked it
gave it
11.
17.
You gave it a 17. I'm looking at it
I-
now. So I think
Yeah.
it's and then when I really stripped it down, I'm like, okay, I've had enough Into the Fire. Great opening song, great song. Heaven's on Fire is a great song. I like Thrills
Classic.
in the Night,
Yep.
and there's a couple other good songs on that record. I mean, there's some stupid ones too, but yeah, Animalized was better than I remember, and I love the live MTV live show from it. On
Oh,
Sunday.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's classic. Greg, any thoughts on Animalized?
I love Animalize. It's I think this was definitely Kiss re-energizing themselves into and really coming into form with what was happening at the time, and they did it really well. They I pretty much like every song on that album. You know, I mean, While the City Sleeps is a great gem. Yeah, but that whole album's just classic. I mean, when people think of non-makeup Kiss, it's either Lick It Up or Analyze.
Yeah.
It was a bad album cover, though. Analyze.
It was a lazy album cover, Mike. You're right. You're
Yeah,
right.
it's
I
hard.
didn't think it was that bad. I mean, it was
I think it
definitely
would have been better if they had that
Cover.
like the claw,
The claw would have been cool.
the nails, whatever.
Yeah.
Like I think that would have been a cool one.
they
But
used it on a tour book, I think.
yeah,
Like it's a bad album cover.
I like if you would ask me like what I thought about it, where I would have ranked it personally way higher than I did at 17. But like I said, like I ranked each song individually, and I'm sorry, it's my opinion. Gene songs on this record are the
Not as
absolute
good. Yeah.
hits.
well, he was on the set of Runaway.
Yeah.
You know what, man? I mean, Paul should have stepped in and said, "Look, I'll give you like 1 or 2 songs on this record, but I'm writing the rest," because Paul's songs are like fucking great. And like Heaven's on Fire, I gave that a 5. And you know, I've Had Enough, Into the Fire is like one of my favorite
Great
Kiss songs.
song.
And Thrills in the Night is great. Get All You Can Take is great. But
Very Zeppelin at times. You know?
yeah. But the Gene songs were just awful.
Yeah.
I thought.
Like Murder in High Heels. Oh, come on.
Yeah, that's a sleeper.
That's a sleeper.
Yeah.
That's a sleeper. Yeah. Yeah. Med, you want anything to Animalize?
Echo everything you guys just said pretty much. When it first came out, though, I really wasn't the biggest fan of it. I saw the video for Heaven's on Fire, and I thought I was going to like the rest of the album. I got the tape and I put on, you know, I've Had Enough, and that's one of my favorite Kiss songs, period. And, you know, the Paul songs definitely lead this. Like the Gene songs, I'm like, yo, man, like what? Like he kind of like, he fell off on like, and you know, knowing what we know now, I get it, but Murder in High Heels,
I know.
High heels.
yo,
It's awful.
just the way it starts, I'm just like, this is.
Do you think he was contractually obligated to have a certain amount of songs on each album? I
Probably.
think that's why they were so.
Got
Probably.
it. Yeah,
I
it
think
had
that's
to
what
come
it
from.
was.
Had to.
I think that's why Paul never said anything either. I think it's because like what?
They
Well,
had to. Yeah.
in his book, he, you know, he touches on that a little bit. He's just like, man, he would just throw me these songs, like these half-ass songs that he may or not may have written or whatever.
Right.
And he would have to spend all this time like trying to help him out. So who knows what they sound like before he got involved with them.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Can I just say before we move on, I love Paul Stanley and Heaven's on Fire. Like,
Great.
it's
That's the
so
Paul Stanley.
cheesy.
Yeah.
But dude, like his dance moves and everything like that, like,
yeah, it's
he's so sassy.
He was
and I
totally
love it.
coming into his own at that point. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yo,
Mike.
the opening with his hands on fire.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, it's great, but him going through the ring.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would always be like, why didn't any of his fringes catch on fire? Like,
Yeah.
I meant
Yeah, a
so.
lot of stuff
They may
going on.
have. He may have had multiple pants for that.
Right. Multiple takes just to get it right. Sure.
I do all my own stunts.
Yeah.
People.
Come
Funny
on,
stuff.
people. Let's go to this ring of fire.
Yeah, exactly. Oh man. All right, guys, moving on to number 12. I'm gonna go with Damo first since he ranked us pretty high. Unmasked, Damo.
Yeah, it came in at number 12, but I ranked it at 8. It's the first Kiss album that I ever bought, so it holds a special place with me. Dude, it's a great like power pop
Mhm.
record. You
What
know,
album
like,
did you say?
Unmasked. It's just like a power pop, you know, it's like almost like Cheap Trick or something, you know, just
Yeah.
catchy songs. I mean, Shandy's fucking great. Talk to Me, Naked City, Tomorrow, Two Sides of the Coin, She's So European. I mean, the whole record I think is just it's just a fun record. Good sing along, catchy tunes. I mean, it's like Kiss at their poppiest.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
It's like and before that I would probably say Love Gun is probably like the poppiest, but it's just like Love Gun times 10, you know, as far as the pop goes, the pop and cheese go. But I love it, man. I love it.
and the rest of us pretty much put it middle of the road. You know,
Well, my
Ahmed,
favorite album covers too.
yeah, crazy album cover. Ahmed on Unmasked.
This album kind of snuck past me. This is one of the first of 3 Kiss albums that I had lukewarm feelings about. This one, Animalize, and Hot in the Shade or Hot in the Shit are the three Kiss albums that right off the bat I'm just like, I'm not so sure about. The only reason why I knew about this album was because they used to have these little bubblegum albums.
Chew Bops.
Yeah.
Chew Bops.
Yes.
That's how I found out about
I
this.
remember
album. Oh. And then I remember putting it on, and I used to flip the album over and try and guess who sang what, and skip by each track and listen to 5 seconds of it, see if it was good or not. I'm like, And I went through it quickly. There weren't too many songs that I had on for like 5 seconds that I really just left on. But today, it's one of my favorites.
Yeah, I love this album pretty much for all the same reasons why both Damien and Ahmed mentioned. It's not, the hard rocking Kiss that we all know and love, but the songwriting's fun. It's sing along, and let me ask someone, when you guys first heard it, I love the way it starts with "Is That You?" Like, because when
That
you
was
first
a
put on a
good one.
record,
Me too.
Yeah.
or tape, like you always have that little hum first before it really starts, and all of a sudden, ow! Like, right?
I
Yeah.
like that too. I thought that was great.
And then it
just surprises you,
nosedives
like,
into
okay.
Shandy.
Oh, I
Yeah.
love Shandy.
Yeah.
Oh, I gave that a bad rank.
Dude, it's just
I love-
it's such like it's total 1980 sounding record.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
It's definitely yacht.
What
It's
makes the
definitely
world go
yacht
round?
rock, Shandy.
That's
yeah,
us.
yeah.
That's
What
an album that
makes the
grows
world go
on you.
round?
It's
Yeah,
definitely an
like
album
I
that grows
said,
on
like
you.
today, it's a nostalgic thing. Like I love it. She's So European, Naked City.
Naked City's a great song.
Mhm.
Yo, I love it now.
Yeah.
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 I think every song on there is killer.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It is
what makes
good.
the world
It is
go
good.
round.
It grows
Yeah,
on you.
it's one of the best looks in the world.
It definitely grows on you, that
Mhm.
record. It's coming out of if you want to say the disco era to the pop era. And guess what? It fits well after Dynasty, if you look at it. It kind of
It
fits
does.
pretty well.
They double down on it.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
definitely the Halloween 5.
Yeah, okay.
If Dynasty is Halloween 4, Unmasked is definitely Halloween 5.
I can go with that. Yeah.
All right. So we're going to go to number 11. Coming in at number 11, Asylum. We're going to go with Ahmed since he ranked it pretty high.
I love Asylum. This was my favorite Unmasked Kiss album until Revenge. I
Wow.
love Asylum.
Yeah.
Every
Yeah.
single song on it. King of the Mountains, one of my favorite. Who Wants to Be Lonely?
Oh yeah.
I'm Alive. I think this is probably my favorite Bruce playing album.
Wow.
Yeah,
I
great
love all
solos.
Bruce is playing. Like, but yeah, I can see why you like that. His solos are iconic on that album.
Yeah, Tears Are Falling. I know it's
It's a great song.
most popular,
It's a killer.
one of the
tune.
most popular, but
Yeah.
that's my all-time favorite Bruce solo.
I love Who Wants to Be Lonely. I can
Yep.
listen to that all the time. Like
Me
that's
too.
a great
I never
song.
get tired of it.
Yeah.
Secretly Cruel.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
yeah,
one
I
of
think
it's
it's my
probably
favorite
one of
Gene song.
Gene's. Yeah,
Better.
one of his better 80s songs.
Yeah,
Like,
see,
yeah.
now on
Unmasked
he
songs.
he recovered with me on this album after Animalize. I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm digging this.
Yeah. You know
I
what?
also love the look.
Okay, Greg,
I
what
love
you
the Asylum look.
say? Yeah.
How
I'll
come
be
nobody's
that guy.
mentioning?
I'll be that guy. I love the Asylum
Mike
look.
D, mention the song. What's the song?
How come
Mike
nobody's
D?
mentioning? Ugh, all night,
Yeah. It's so
I used to
good.
love that song when I
Ugh,
was a kid.
man.
Not so much anymore, but when I was a kid, I loved
Yeah.
it.
That was tough.
I think just like Animalize, like I would have ranked this personally much higher if it wasn't for some of these Gene songs. Like,
Yeah, me too.
Trial by Fire. I thought Any Way You Slice It, but the Paul songs again are like really, really, really good. King of the Mountain, Who Wants to Be Lonely is amazing.
Yeah.
I'm Alive is great, but a lot of these songs are co-written by Bruce. And I will say that the album cover is pretty awful.
I don't mind it. I really don't mind it.
One
I like
thing,
it. I don't
since
mind
I
it.
got the totals in front of me, from the Elder to Asylum, they're all like one vote apart. So like those 1, 2, 3, 4 records are pretty close in the voting.
Right.
This
Now-
this was the album that was like the downfall for me. I think. I think ending on All Night, that just put me in a very cranky mood for like the next albums following this.
Yeah.
You know what's funny though? Like, I mean, I don't know, like the what the song's about. It's like when you work all day, you just want to like, no, I don't. I want to sleep. Like,
Yeah.
Mike
They-
D, did you hear this album in the 80s or did you just hear it later on?
later.
I heard it like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, see,
Oh, that's fine.
you'd have been all
Years
about
ago.
it in the 80s, I
Yeah.
guarantee.
Yeah.
Yeah,
If
dude.
you-
I don't know, man. Like,
All Night. And when that first
what
came
year
out,
was this?
85.
85.
Yeah.
Yeah.
5. I was probably at that point. I was probably listening to like Run DMC, Fat
So was
Boys,
I.
and stuff like that. So,
Same.
like, I wasn't even listening to the rock music at that point.
You missed
Okay.
out. You missed out. All Night when I was a kid, that was probably the most played song on that tape back in the day for me. Now it's really cheesy, but it's still. I had this ranked really low compared to a lot of the other ones, and I couldn't figure out why. But I think
17.
Damien hit it on the head. It's the Gene songs, because you have
Mhm.
3 or 4 huge singles off that thing that Paul is great on. You know,
They
Um,
should have been massive hits, like his singles, like
Tears of Falling,
Wants to Be
Who Wants to
Lonely?
Be Lonely. Yeah, I mean, right there. Them
yeah.
two.
I mean, Tears of Falling was a pretty big hit, but I think it should have been like fucking massive. You know?
Yep. Yep.
It
I agree.
Actually, it was. It was always on MTV. Used to have a
MTV hit.
half-hour video show called Metal Shop, and that video was
Yeah.
always
Well, like a
on.
radio hit, you know?
Yeah.
But they were
Crossover.
never a big radio band.
They're not
Yeah.
giving Kiss any love. Kiss is
No.
the truest
They were
statement
never
with
good.
Kiss is people listen with their eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
True.
they do.
True.
You know, it's a shame I never got to live through that. You know, I'm 31, so
Yeah,
I
you're
was
young. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think the reason why I have a different appreciation for this stuff is that when I got into Kiss, it was during the it was the first band I ever listened to. I was 2 years old and I was already obsessed.
Right.
And so my introduction to Kiss was all of that. So I didn't have a definitive what Kiss should be as compared to everybody else, because every time I saw a different video or a different album, it'd be like, oh, that's Kiss. That's great. That's also Kiss. Okay, this is all Kiss. Like,
They were, there was tough competition, man. That's like Motley Crue and Van Halen and
Yeah.
Bon
Young
Jovi.
Guns.
everybody was killing it at that time. And I thought they were doing good, considering the times and all that.
Yep.
Yeah, they were holding their own. People say it's the lean years with the non-makeup years, but I think they were doing pretty good, because when you look at if you look at even the tours, all the guys that was probably maybe outselling Kiss were opening for Kiss.
Mhm.
Absolutely. You know what's
So-
weird? Because the last couple tours or the last 10, 15 years, it's been all like the makeup stuff, and I love the makeup stuff, but I really miss the non-makeup stuff now from not
Me
hearing
too.
it as much.
Yeah, because they haven't done it in a while.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
flipped.
I think they do a decent
Flip,
job
yeah.
now. Like with this recent tour, I mean, you have 20 albums with so many hits, you can only pick for so many.
Sure. Yep.
But I think they represent the non-makeup years pretty decent. They play a few 80 songs. Like last time I saw them was in May, and they played Tears Are Falling, which is great. And they're playing Crazy Nights. So I like seeing some of them. I like the current set list that they're going. Very good,
It's pretty good.
all rounded.
It's pretty good. All right, guys. So we're gonna hit the top 10
Top
here.
10.
So at number 10, coming in, Lick It Up. Greg and Damien both had it at 6. Let's go with Greg first on Lick It Up.
I have it at number 6. Again, it'll be probably different tomorrow if you ask me. I think it was a great follow-up to Revenge. Creatures of the Night. It's the production's almost the same. It's got that feel to it, but it's just without makeup. So, and I guess I sound like a hypocrite because I kind of criticize Monster for being almost the same exact sounding album, but the songs in Lick It Up are pretty much, it seems like it could have been like if they were in the room one day and said, hey, we have all these great songs in Creatures of the Night, but we can't fit everything else. But these are so good, let's make it on the next album. and like they're all just great songs. I mean, Not Pretty Innocent is one of the
So underrated.
baddest songs, dude. Like that's a badass song.
There's some good Gene ones on there. There is.
That on the
Yeah.
Creatures box set, yo, it's
Yeah.
awesome.
Oh yeah.
The
Love
demo.
that version.
The demo is
Yeah,
the
this
demo
is,
version.
Yeah,
Yeah, this
Demo?
one, I think all the songs are like, I think it's probably like one of their most well-rounded records.
A Million to
And
One
on
is
the eighth day, I
amazing.
thought was a bit of a. That was
I
like a
enjoy
stinker,
it.
I thought.
I
but
enjoy
yeah,
that song.
When I was a
It's
kid,
like
I liked
they're-
it. I liked it when I was younger.
It's like their version of trying to be like the Who or something. But overall, I think it's you're not gonna have 10 bangers on a record. There's
Yeah.
gonna be a couple
No.
stinkers, but yeah, overall, I think it's
Yeah.
super solid record.
A Million to One. I was so happy Paul played it on a solo tour, the Live to Win tour.
Mm-hmm.
What a great
I wish I
song.
could have sung that. I
What a
really
great
wish I could have
song.
sung
It was so good. It was so good.
Yeah.
Lick It Up's a pretty damn good record. It's a pretty solid record. And the Gene songs are pretty good on it. Mike D, you want to add anything to Lick It Up?
It's kind of like middle of the road for me.
Okay. How about you, Med?
It is. Yeah, he gave it a 9.
You gave it a 9. Pretty much middle of the road. Med, anything on Lick It Up?
yeah, I love Lick It Up. Or Diet Creatures of the Night, as I like to call it.
Exactly.
That's got the great-
Exactly.
But yeah, it's a lot of good songs on that. Million to One is one of my favorite.
Yeah.
Fits Like a Glove. Give Me More. Young and
Young
Wasted.
and wasted, dude.
And
Like
I
I still
think-
listen to that.
I think since that was the first album since I don't know, one of the 70s albums where they played at least 5 or 6 songs off that album live. They played
Yeah.
you go look at the set list during the Lick It Up tour, there's like
It's a lot
5
of
or
Lick It Up.
6 songs like off that album.
What did Everett
Yeah,
Carr
it's like when they
sing
started
live?
dropping that.
What did he sing live on that one?
Young and
He
He
wasted.
didn't.
Young and Wasted.
He ended up singing Young and Wasted on the Animalized tour,
Yeah.
but he actually didn't sing it. He helped write All Hell's Breaking Loose, but
Right.
he didn't sing anything.
Which was way
I-
ahead of its
I-
time. That song was way ahead of its time, I thought.
All Hell's Breaking Loose turned out to be my most listened to Kiss song on my Spotify.
Oh my
I've
God.
been on
Wow.
the kick with that song. That is such a I love that song.
I would love to hear a hip hop
like it.
cover of that.
Right.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
That would
I
be
think
cool.
that would work.
Yeah.
That would be cool.
Sometimes I goof around when I do my sound checks because I hate doing vocal sound checks because I'm just sitting there saying check 1, 2 all the time for like
I am the
15 minutes
breeze.
and it's awkward as hell. But sometimes when I'm feeling silly, I'll just rap that song.
Right.
Hey man,
Good stuff. All right, guys, coming in at number 9, Dynasty. We're gonna go with Mike D. You ranked it at 5, Mike D.
Damn.
Yeah, it's pretty high for Mike.
Yeah, I was surprised because this is like their disco era, but I actually kind of dug this one.
Yeah, solid. It's
Yeah.
solid.
Me, Mike, and Ahmed all gave it a 5. I
Wow.
love this record, man. It's one of my favorite records from the 70s. Next to like Dress to Kill. I love this record, man. I love the production on it. It's like very New York sounding record. And I don't even know how to describe it, but like sometimes like if I'm in New York and I'm driving home or from there or something like late at night, I put this album on because I just picture like late 70s vibe with this music playing and just it's probably a disco vibe to it, I think.
Yeah.
Like Dirty
I'm not
Midman and Sure Knows Something and Charisma, and it just puts me in a certain mood. That
The
I like.
bass in that
Yeah.
album is amazing.
It's
Like,
amazing.
the bass licks on that album
Yeah.
so damn good.
Yep.
Yeah,
I
that's probably why you
absolutely
dig it,
love
Mike.
Dynasty.
yes.
Yeah.
I absolutely love Dynasty. It's just I don't know why. Like I guess again, my opinion is always changing. Just right now, I listed a little lower because I actually feel the opposite. I'm not the biggest fan of the production of that album. It's too thin. I mean, I guess I know it's what they're going for with the Sign of the Times. Like it's purposely like that, but just sonically, it sounds very tinny.
Mhm.
But it's a great album. Like yes, the disco album. and yeah, there's some disco songs on that, like Dirty Living, but like, I also love the outfits.
Yeah, yeah,
I,
it was great.
I love
Super
the,
Kiss.
those are my favorite makeup Kiss outfits. I know I'm on the outside of that with most people, but
Hell
Yeah,
no.
I like them too.
the aesthetic of both Dynasty and Unmasked, my favorite. I'm always glued to it.
Yep. How about you, Med, with Dynasty? Your thoughts on the record?
I love Dynasty. I got this album for my 5th birthday. This was my first Kiss album, so I got nothing but good shit to say. But I will defend this album to the end. Like, this was back when everybody was like, "Oh well, Kiss, it looks like a circus now. All these little kids are coming to the show," and I'm like 5 years old. I'm like, "Yo, man,
I'm in it, baby."
talking about?" I know. I'm like, if and I can tell you straight up, you know, what my ears were like then and right now. If it sucked, if the music wasn't good, I wouldn't mess with it at all. I'm like, you're right, you know. But I like the whole album. For No Something, one of my favorite Kiss songs ever. And Hard Times and
Magic Touch.
yeah, like all the Ace songs were on point, and X-Ray
Made for Loving You
Eyes.
is still an anthem
great
that
song.
everyone loves.
Yeah, like my dad played the shit out of that, you know. And they used to play that in not discos, roller rinks all the time.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Day.
Yeah,
But yeah, I love Dynasty. Same thing with the outfits. I love people diss the outfits. I'm just like, you want to keep doing the same shit over and over and over and over.
That
I
might
love
be
them. I love
that
them.
Dynasty era. Might be if you ever see the I don't know who did them, but that photo shoot where they did a lot of the individuals where Peter's in the cat thing with the cats, and that's the best photo shoot ever for me for Kiss.
Yes, absolutely.
I love that
it.
photo shoot.
Like
who
Gene
did that?
with
Was
the
that Barry
volcano and whatnot?
something?
Lynn Goldsmith, I think.
Is that who did that? Oh my god, it's so good. It's
I love that no more.
Nobody does that no more. I mean,
no one does that anymore.
Kiss
No one
then.
puts any real effort into their photo shoots like that anymore.
Yeah.
Probably because it costs money. But like, but those photos, like both for Dynasty and the Love Gun era, two of the best photo shoots of those eras ever.
I agree. Because I remember more than anything, I remember I remember them individual photos, and they came in like a set. There was this, I don't even know what the hell happened in my head. There was like a set
The
of them.
Viewmaster. I had the Viewmaster.
Oh shit. Yeah. Yeah, man. But the photo shoot was amazing, and they all had their own, they were in their own little world. And they kind of tried to recreate that a little bit with I guess Psycho Circus, not Psycho Circus, right before they did Psycho Circus for the reunion tour. They did
Yeah.
And that was kind of
with the photo shoot. Yeah.
But
those are also great photo shoots.
Barry Levine,
Barry Levine, yep. So Dynasty, I think, is a great record. I like it. It's one of my favorites still. I love the bass. Like Mike said, the fucking bass is just fucking awesome on it.
And the Ace songs are great.
The Ace songs are good. The Ace songs are really good. Peter on Dirty Living might be one of my favorite songs on that record. I love it.
Me
It's
too.
a great song.
He's got a great voice.
Yeah, man. Charisma.
Matter of fact, let me say real quick before I forget, if I ever had a podcast or a talk show or whatever, it would open with Dirty Living.
I'd be okay with that. That'd be amazing.
Yeah. Maybe we'll open the show with Dirty Living. I'll play it at the intro, and then they'll flag me. I'll still play it.
Do it.
Yeah,
Do
we
it.
ain't getting paid, so I'll
post.
flag it. We'll get flagged.
Living with Ahmed.
Yeah.
There you go. I think you just had a new podcast born.
Yeah.
There
you go. All right, guys. So we're at number 8.
Got a tie.
Coming in at number 8. It's tied.
And it's
8-7. And wow, this is going to be interesting. I'm going to go with Ahmed first. Ahmed, we have Revenge or Hotter Than Hell. What ranks higher for you? And why? All right, so we're gonna go back to Ahmed.
Well, I'm gonna pick Hotter Than Hell just for the whole old school purpose of it. I like those songs better than the songs on Revenge, and that's no slouch on the songs on Revenge. It's just I love Got to Choose, I love Parasite, I love All the Way, I love Let Me Go Rock and Roll, but I really wish we could have added the live albums to this. because Alive 1 and Alive 2 are my favorites. Somehow,
Better
like they knew exactly what songs I wanted to hear live, like which versions are the best versions of those songs. So, and because of that, and that those songs are on, Hotter Than Hell. Some of those songs are on Hotter Than Hell too. I'll lean that way. Hotter Than Hell.
Okay, so Ahmed's going with Hotter Than Hell. Greg?
Revenge. I don't know why. Like I don't have a good reason. You know, I don't have a good reason. Again, I've been saying it all night. My opinion will be different tomorrow.
All
Probably.
All night.
all
Yeah, all night.
All night.
Mike D. You
Definitely
ranked
hotter.
you ranked it high.
Yeah, definitely hotter.
Mike D. We're going with you.
I mean, this has got Parasite, Going Blind. They might be my two favorite Kiss songs right there.
Great songs.
I love every song on this album. It's so damn good. Like
The riffs.
I don't know.
The riffs are ridiculous.
Parasite's one of the best riffs ever.
I used to
Ace
hate the
Sauce.
production. Now I love it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
me
production's
too.
a little muddy.
Downside.
It's a little muddy, but
I
Yeah.
like how gritty it is.
It's
And
gritty.
the way it
all-
sounds too. Yeah.
And the other thing, like from Alive next to the the studio version, it took me a while to get used to them songs being so slow. Like, because I heard
Yeah.
Alive before I heard Hotter Than Hell, and I'm like, yo, these songs are so slow. Why are they so slow? But
Lack of adrenaline.
yeah.
Yep. Damo, what you going with?
Definitely Revenge, only because I remember getting it the day it came out. That's what really like kicked me into being like into Kiss fandom, like super like number one favorite band. And I've always said Revenge is like a desert island record for me.
Yeah.
Just because of same thing like I like Unmasked, because it just is the first one I bought, so they have sentimental reasons. But that being said, I love Hotter Than Hell. I love the way it sounds. It's kind of like dark in a way, like weird dark. Like I never really understood like why it's written in Japanese, and
That was
like
my favorite.
and
I
like the
loved it.
photos are kind of like reminds me of like a Scorsese kind of like lighting, kind of like dark and gritty and everything, and that just added to the eeriness to it. So
I've heard people even say it's like one of the first grunge albums. People say,
Yeah,
I've heard
it
that
is.
thrown around a lot.
yeah, it is kind of
It's dirty.
grunge,
It's gritty,
dirty
yeah.
grunge tones.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I love them both, but my vote goes to Revenge,
Yeah.
and I actually rank that out of my personal ones. I rank Revenge at number 2.
Wait, do you like Spit? Because I know a lot of people.
I love that album.
I like
don't
Spit.
like
that
that
song.
song.
I like
love it
Spit.
too. Yeah,
I think that's one of the best songs on Revenge.
yeah,
I
I
like
love that song.
Yeah. For me, I absolutely love Revenge. It's one of my favorite Kiss records. I love just Unholy set the tone. But I'm going to have to go with, by 1 point for me, Hotter Than Hell. That just outkicks it by just a little bit. So that makes number 8 is going to be Revenge. Number 7, Hotter Than Hell on our countdown.
Mhm.
They're both really great albums for two different reasons.
No matter what, it's the right choice.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it works either way. Yeah, guys, 2 great records. Okay, we're hitting number 6 here. Number 6, Love Gun. Let's go with Damo. What you got on Love Gun?
Love Gun, I think, is probably my least favorite 70s record, which is kind of like weird for most people. So that's like the pinnacle, I think, of like that's like at the the top of their like Kiss,
It's peak
Kiss
Kiss.
stereo.
Yeah. Greg,
But,
your mic went out a little
Your
bit.
audio is weird.
Your audio sounds
My
good.
audio's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, you sound like you're talking through a telephone.
Yeah.
Sounds like Hotter Than Hell.
It sounds like
Yeah.
Hotter Than Hell, yeah.
I don't know what I can do about that because I have on my phone. I'm not sure. Is it better now?
No, it sounds like you're calling from like a payphone.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What happened? I don't know what happened.
I don't know.
Everything was fine. I don't know what to do about it.
All right.
That's all right. We'll roll with
Sorry,
it.
guys.
We'll just deal with it.
Yeah, we'll roll with it. Special effects, baby.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, that's my thoughts on Love Gun. Like, I love a lot of the songs on there, but like the cover song, I thought that was kind of dumb. Tomorrow and Tonight, I absolutely fucking hate that song with a passion. That's out of every single Kiss song. I'd probably listen to any song on Monster any day of the week than that song.
Really? I absolutely
Yeah.
love that song.
I gave it like a 2.
Yeah,
absolutely
I
love it.
I gave
It
that like
reminds me
a
of the
1.
Partridge Family if they were a Kiss song.
Mike, how about you on Love Gun?
I like this one. It was good. I think what brought it down for me was probably what Damien said, Tomorrow in the Night. And Then She Kissed Me. I gave it like a
Yeah.
0.5.
Oh,
That was
wow.
just I should have gave it a 0. That was just poor. It was bad. It should have never been on there. It should have never been done.
I agree.
Period.
Yeah, those two
End of
songs
story.
really brought the like my average sound on that.
Yeah,
for that- for
because
that
the rest of
record.
the rest of the record's really good. You got
I like everything else.
I like
yeah.
Hooligan.
Not Love for Sale is one of my favorite bass lines ever.
Greg,
I
you're
love the
back.
bass in that song. Am I back? I'm good.
Oh,
No,
you went away
no,
again. You
you're
were
wrong
back for a second. You were back for a
It's
second.
like
Do I have to yell?
Yeah,
you're
you're back
fine.
again.
You're
nah, it's
back.
all right.
Step up to the microphone.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
Here you
Sound
go.
better.
now?
I
Yeah.
think the greatest Kiss opener ever is "I Stole Your Love." I just think that's the fucking greatest opener.
That's a great track.
I mean,
I agree.
Hooligan's a great song. Love Gun's
I
a
like
great
that.
song.
Hooligan's fun.
Plaster Caster. I love what's the name? Me and I'm gonna joke about this all the time about wanting to do this. What's the name? Almost Human. Oh, come on.
Great track.
So I do
cool,
love
too,
this
yeah.
record. Ahmed, you ranked this pretty high. Any thoughts?
Yes, the 3 Kiss albums in the middle were, I think, the best studio albums of all time. And just
The
like what
live
you
too.
guys said, just like what Mike D and Damien said, Then She Kissed Me and Tomorrow and Tonight are the weakest links. But just like what Albert said, the other songs are strong enough to carry it.
Mm-hmm.
At
Yeah.
least you
I
could stop
still-
it after Plaster Caster. So, you don't have to go any further.
You
That's
could.
the end of the album.
You could. And I kind of dig same thing with, not to go back to Hotter Than Hell, but what's the name? What the fuck? Coming Home and Plaster Caster and Love Gun, the acoustic versions I fucking love. Like them two
Yep.
acoustic versions.
Yes.
Coming Home, the
Absolutely.
acoustic version made me love that song.
On Unplugged, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Totally fucking great.
And
Any
you can't
thoughts?
forget Shock Me.
That's right. Shock
Oh,
Me's on
yeah.
that too. Yep. Yep. Greg, any thoughts on Love Gun?
Love Gun is a classic. It's peak Kiss and Hysteria. Like, I mean, yeah, Then She Kissed Me is corny. I mean, I can listen to it sometimes, but like looking back at it, whenever people talk about like a retrospective of Kiss history, I guess, they always say, "I'm so surprised that Kiss went disco and pop," and then I always say, "Wait a second. Listen to the last song of Love Gun, and you mean to tell me you're surprised that they wrote a poppy album?"
Yeah.
You're turning into a monster.
Dude,
It's like 3 different voices.
your audio sounds like you're like a mob, you're like in the mob, and your face is all darked out,
Yeah.
blacked out, right?
Yeah.
Like
The
in
protection's
shadows.
coming on.
The protection.
Is that what it sounds like?
It's good stuff.
Starting to-
we had to get rid of them because
Did you hear anything I had to say?
Yeah,
better.
yeah.
Stay
Yeah,
right
we
there.
got
It's
it.
better.
We got it. It's good. Whatever
Okay.
you're at. You're good
Yeah.
right there. Yep.
perfect.
Okay.
Oh man. All right, guys. So
He's trying to
coming in-
hide the fact that he likes Tomorrow and Tonight.
I love it.
Yeah,
I will scream that from the heavens. I love Tomorrow and Tonight.
he's in the witness protection now.
Yeah, after they were saying that. Yeah. Fucking great. All right, guys.
Top 5.
We're getting the top 5, man. Coming in at 5. Dressed to Kill. Damo. I know you love this record.
Yeah, this is Dress to Kill. I ranked this at number 4. It's one of my favorite records. I think it's like the perfect Kiss album, even though I didn't rank it at number 1. I think it's just like, man, I love the sound. The songs are fun. Room Service, Two Timer, Ladies in Waiting. It's a I don't know. Every song on this record I could listen to, even the studio version of Rock and Roll Night. And I'm so sick of that song. I actually prefer the studio version
Me too.
over the live
Wow.
version. But
Me too. I'm with
Love
you.
Her All I Can's a killer tune, man. A lot of great Peter Criss drumming. People who shit on him, man. This is his best drumming record.
Yeah,
I
was
think.
gonna
when he
say
was
that.
good, he was good.
I was gonna say this is my favorite Peter Criss album.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's
I agree.
a monster on this album. Like it's really, really solid.
He
Playing.
does-
and I love the album cover.
He does play different than everybody else. He don't play common. He plays his own. He's definitely got his own thing.
He's like
You know?
Lars.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's him when you listen.
absolutely. All them cool little fills. Yeah,
Yeah.
awesome. Greg, you ranked this pretty high too. What's your thoughts on Dress to Kill?
I think how do I sound? Am I sound okay now?
Yeah.
Better, yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna try. Hopefully, it stays that way. But I'm with Damien. I mean, I listened to this album, and Damien mentioned earlier about like how when he thinks of Dynasty and the streets and greatness, I think of Dress to Kill. That's how I see it. I Dress to Kill has that New York vibe, probably because the picture was taken in New York. Paul's accent is very heavy
Yeah.
on this
Yeah.
one. You know, like this is Kiss from New York, and I too prefer Rock and Roll Night Studio over the live version. And honestly, I think it sounds timeless. Like I remember I turned it on in front of all my friends. Like I think it was like Getaway or something like that.
Love
And I asked them like, when do you think this came out? And he said, I can't pinpoint it. I said, exactly. It's timeless. It's just straight up rock and roll. And it's a great album. It's fantastic.
Yep. Mike D, you want to add anything to Dress to Kill?
Kind of middle of the road for me.
Okay.
It had some classics on there, but it was like for me, it just didn't.
It's got She
I'm not
on
a-
it, man. She's the song.
Well, that was a great song.
Great song.
Mike
Like
gave it a
to me,
12.
Rock and Roll Night's kind of like tiresome. I'm like sick of that song.
Yeah.
Well, it's
Oh,
got
it's
rock
got-
in it, so you lose points for
Right. There you go.
it.
Ahmed?
I love it. Another one of my favorites. Production wise, I think this is their best sounding album.
and
Agreed.
That was what Neil Bogart, right? Did the production? Was he the
Yeah.
producer? Wow.
Yeah, I think
And,
it sounds
you know,
great.
Peter Criss shines on like I said before, this is a heavy Peter Criss album for me. His drum fills and Love Her All I Can, Come On and Love Me. It was fun playing that last night, by the way.
Oh, yeah, it was.
Um,
Yeah, it was.
Anything from My Baby, Room
Mhm.
Service, Two Timer, Ladies in Waiting. It's just one of those albums, man. This is one of the albums that helped make Kiss, in my opinion.
I agree. I love the record. I do love Dress to Kill. All right, guys.
For
So
me-
coming in at number 4, which most of us had this at 4. Greg had it a little higher. We're gonna go to Greg first. Creatures of the Night. What you got, Greg?
I love this album so much with the I think the production is really what does it for me. I think it's, to me, the best drum sound of any recording of all time. I listen to that and I just turn it up. Like I just love this album. I can't think of too many reasons why I love it. I mean, it's definitely like next to Revenge, definitely their heaviest record. I think that's also why you can appreciate it a lot. Like, you know, it's always been that argument: is Kiss a metal band or not? I always say, who cares?
Right.
Because they can do both and do it very well. And yeah, I just think it was like, I just love Creatures of the Night. It's so damn good.
Yep. Med?
10, 10, 10. I love Creatures of the Night as well. Same thing Greg just said, you know, the drums, everything about there's not a bad song on the album. I love everything about it, the cover, the outfits, everything. And this is probably, I would say, their meanest, darkest sounding album. It's just like
It's
they
tough.
found their way after The Elder. Like it's a shame that album did so poorly, because you could tell they put their foot into that fucking album.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's got
Love
balls.
Creatures. It's in my top 5 albums of all time of Kiss albums.
Sure.
Yep. Mike D, want to add anything to Creatures?
Oh, this is a great album. We just listened to this on would you buy the new vinyl, right?
Yes. Yeah.
What'd you think of it? Because I thought it kind of sounded muffled.
You know what's weird? I played the other version of it. I played the original version of it against it. I thought the original version actually sounded cleaner than the new vinyl, the half remaster.
Yeah, I wasn't happy with that at all. The sound of it.
Yeah, I thought the original one sounded better than the half master mix.
Like, I didn't think it was dynamic at all. It just
No.
kind of sounded flat. The drum sounded muffled.
Yep. The vocals were low. To me.
Vocals were in the back. Yeah.
Weird. It was really, yeah. I put that on. I was kind of bummed out because I was waiting for it to be bombastic, and I was like, "Wow." Then we were like, "Does this sound weird?" As the stereo? Okay, you know, I get the original here. Let's put the original on. When I put the original on, I'm like, I think it sounds better. You know?
Yeah.
Oh,
It's magic.
yeah. It was really
It's
weird.
magic of that time.
Some
Yeah.
things you just shouldn't touch.
Exactly. You should just left it
It's
alone.
lightning in a
Yep.
bottle.
Yep. Yeah, but Creatures is the fucking album cover. First of all, is unbelievable.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool.
That and the loudest band in the world poster.
Oh, that
probably,
poster's
like,
iconic.
coolest-
Yeah.
the coolest pictures of them.
And
Were
like,
they really the last band in the world at that time, though? Or is that just a like? Do you think they had that to back it up, or if they actually did like a decibel reading, or
knowing that
Probably
they were
not.
just saying it just to compete and just market themselves as that?
because it
Yeah,
was
well-
the Who, right? At one time.
Yeah, but
I
they
know the Who
were.
was. I know
If you
Manowar
watch,
before was.
if you watched a lot of the promo footage when they were doing promo for this record, like with Ace, because they held like a big press conference where they showed the Tank and the stage show, and then the four of them with Ace. He
Yeah.
was doing the promo. They were talking about it, and you know, they kept on. They because metal, you know, was like really fucking big at that point, like 82. You know, Judas Priest and Maiden, and then you know, Van Halen, like heavy metal was like, you know, and Kiss was like old news. So this was like they were. I remember in the interview, they kept Paul Stanley, those guys kept on saying, "Yeah, this is a heavy metal record. You know, we're a heavy metal band," and like they kept on saying heavy metal. You know,
pushing.
so that whole thing, loudest band on earth, like that was just another
gimmick
thing
to
to
throw in there.
Just to
kind of
compete.
like, right, just to kind of cement that. Look, this is not a pop album. This is not a disco record. This isn't some weird concept album. This is a heavy metal record, and you know, we're
Pretty
back,
much-
you know,
Pretty much, you want it, you got it. You know.
yeah. This is the album that people, you know, wanted us to make, and you know, I think it's, dude, fucking Creatures in the Night. That drum intro is just
Oh God,
the
yeah.
way it sounds and the tempo of it, and you know, Keep Me Coming, that drum fill coming into it, man, just fucking
Danger.
right in the teeth.
I was just
Danger,
about to say
fucking great.
Danger.
That whole
That's-
first side is just like, it's untouchable.
And the second
uh,
side, the Gene stuff's amazing. All the Gene
yeah,
stuff.
Killer's
War
great,
Machine,
you know.
classic.
Yeah, it's just
Mhm.
dude, it's a great record. I ranked it personally on my list as at number 3.
Yeah. Yeah. I had
It's just
it.
it's crazy because Brian Adams of all people co-wrote War Machine.
How
Yeah.
funny is that?
Like,
Yeah.
the last person that
And
I
Rock
would
and Roll
ever
Hell.
think
Yeah.
to write something like that. Cuts
Yeah.
like a knife.
Yeah.
War
Better watch
Machine.
out. You know?
Wait. Who wrote that?
Brian Adams.
Brian
Brian
Adams.
Adams co-wrote.
Get the hell out of it.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
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 I think
Like
like,
Brian Adams got some balls.
I
Yeah.
think Gene
Wow.
had most of the song done, and Brian, they brought him in because he was like an up and coming.
Before he
you know,
broke, like before
songwriter.
he really broke.
Yeah, he
So
was like
his-
an
so
up
his
and coming
rate was still
singer
cheap.
songwriter.
His rate
Yeah.
was still cheap at that point.
Yeah. He still had his balls.
yeah.
Yeah,
Everything I do for you. You know, before all that.
before
Before
that,
before the Chocolate soundtrack stuff or whatever that is. I don't even know. The Zorro movie. I don't know. Whatever that fucking thing was. Yeah, guys, Creature of the Night, fucking classic record, man. Okay, so we're going into the top 3. I'm gonna start this one off. Okay, so coming in at 3, the first Kiss record. Let me tell you, if you would have asked me what's your favorite Kiss record without breaking it down, I would have been like, it's got to be the first one. Man, the first one is incredible. It comes in for me. It comes in at 2, and the only reason why it's not number 1 for me is the damn 2 fucking songs. The instrumental, which is okay, but it really don't need to be on there. And the Kissing Time is just like, I know they got forced to put that on there, but that just ruined the fucking record. It was a perfect
I love that song, actually. I love it. I listen to that a lot.
record. Greg's voice is still there. It didn't go away. We can hear that.
Yeah.
All right, we'll go to Greg. Greg, little info in the Kiss record.
What can you say? What Kiss fan can't like this album? I mean, when obviously that's the first one that came out, and when you think about it, no, like you compare Kiss with a lot of different bands, especially from the era, and they fit. But when their songwriting, their style, no one sounds like Kiss. Like there's no one identical to Kiss, but they can fit anywhere. Like you can put them right next to Alice Cooper or Led Zeppelin and they'd fit right in. But when you're listening to Kiss. And I think obviously that album, with how amazing it is, of course, with Strutter being the intro with that drum beat. So many classics that we still listen to and still hear live.
They still play most of that live.
It's a staple. It's a staple.
Yeah, laid
for
the foundation.
Yeah, it's a staple.
Yep. Ahmed?
Same. I love it. It only loses 2 points for me, and one is because like I said before, I'm used to a live one. It's just a little slow. But other than that, and I found my way to really digging that. But that's one, and I just wish, and I know why, but I wish Ace would have sung Cold Gin on it. I would have loved to hear what he sounded like back then when they recorded it.
Yeah,
that would have been interesting.
But aside from those two things, it's a 10.
Yep. Mike D?
Yeah, awesome album. I think I had like 3 ranked 5 songs on this. So
for you, that's high. For a Kiss record, that's high. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, there's a lot of classic stuff on this. Damo?
Yeah, pretty much the same thing you guys said. I mean, Kissing Time. I mean, I know it was like an addition. It was like on the second pressing or something. They threw it on there because they were doing like those Kiss.
The Kiss contest.
Kissing yeah. So it was more for like a promo thing, but honestly, man, I'm definitely in the minority on this one. But Firehouse, never been a fan of that song.
Yeah.
Another one of my least favorite Kiss songs. But like when they do that live, like that's like a beer song. I'm gonna get a beer because I just never liked the whole thing.
I love
Fire.
Me too.
But,
love Fire.
Can we also give some love to Let Me Know?
I like that one.
I like Let Me Know. I think that's great.
That's one of my favorite songs. I always go to that.
Yeah, I think it's great. Yeah.
Yep. So here we go, guys. We got the battle of the last 2 records here. Number 1 and number 2 coming up. Okay. So number 2, and we're going to go to Greg Gorey first because he ranked this a lot lower than the rest of us. Destroyer.
See that?
What do you got, Greg?
Damn. You better check your head, man.
I did. There's nothing there. Honestly, I think it's just because of being such a fan I am with Kiss. I'm tired of it. Mm-hmm. I'm tired of that being the album everyone always goes to. It's like I've heard it so many times. It's gotten so much praise, and it's deserved. It's definitely Kiss.
You're sick of it.
I'm sick of it. I'm sick of that being the album all the time. So it's just like I don't listen to it all the time. Every song's great on it. Don't get me wrong. I still would listen to King of the Nighttime World. Shout Out Loud is one of the best anthems you can ask in a rock song. Beth is a great ballad. It's Bob Ezrin's producing on it. It's a masterpiece. It is a masterpiece, but it's a masterpiece that I can go a year without listening to again.
Right.
I also love Alive 2's version of God of Thunder a hell of a lot better than
it's awesome. Yeah. Funny thing is, Greg ranked this, I believe, 9, and all 4 of us ranked it at 1. So we all ranked it at 1.
Yeah, I think it's like, I think it's like the definitive record, man. I mean, if somebody says what album I want to get into Kiss, where should I start? I would tell them Destroyer because the production is great. I mean, there's classic songs all up and down the record, and then one song I love which is sort of like a dark horse, kind of like B-side song, is Great Expectations. It's so fucking weird.
It's
and
so
great.
different. Yeah.
It's so different.
It
you
is
know.
weird. It's
I just something about it, man. I just love it. And King in a Nighttime World is fucking great, man.
That's
I
the
wish they would
gem off the
play that
record. Is
live.
that?
Yeah,
That's the
even
gem.
Shout It Out Loud, man. As you know, it's like I never get tired of that song. It's a
I was a fan of
fun
God of
song.
Thunder.
God
Oh,
of Thunder,
It's a great song. Yeah.
Of course. Of course. Like we were at, like Ahmed, if we ever did do a Kiss song, I would love to try King in the Nighttime World. That's fucking awesome.
That's a fun song.
I'm
yeah.
down. I mean, you can pick any Kiss
Yeah.
song and I'll be with it. So
I mean, dude, that's one. I
Me
think
too.
that's the hidden gem. Yeah. That's the
Yeah.
hidden gem on the record. I love the
I
whole
think.
record.
I think.
nah,
You know
that's
what,
not
Beth?
the hidden gem.
Sweet
What's the
Pain is
hidden
good.
gem, Ahmed? What's the hidden gem on that record?
Flaming Youth.
Flaming Youth,
Ah, there you
definitely.
go, there
That's
you
one
go.
of my favorite Kiss songs.
I
Higher,
flipped
and
out when they
higher.
played it.
Favorite. When people say they don't like that song, I'm just like, what? What the hell are you talking about? Detroit Rock City and Flaming Youth are like my two favorite Kiss songs.
Yeah.
When I saw Kiss in 2016,
They did it.
I flipped because when they said, "Oh, we're gonna do this album of Destroyer,"
Right.
and again, like
Yeah.
I feel bad saying it because this is a masterpiece of an album and the songwriting is impeccable. There's nothing wrong with the album. It's just my personal feelings with it as a Kiss fan. But like when Paul introduced, like, we're gonna do one off Destroyer that we haven't done in years, I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, he thought every song off Destroyer, like that's like your go-to. And then he said Flaming Youth, I completely forgot about it. And I screamed. I was so happy to hear that song.
Yeah, it's cool too.
So, guys, here we go. We're coming into the number one record. This is after pulling everybody's numbers together. Guys on the internet, girls on the internet. We pulled everybody in together. And what came out as number one, Rock and Roll Over. Greg Gorey, you ranked this at 1. What you got on it?
Yeah. I mean, I can't. I felt weird saying it's my favorite Kiss album because I don't have a favorite, but the way Damien describes his feelings for Destroyer is with like, hey, like what's the best way to introduce you to the sound of Kiss? I would pick Rock and Roll Over because even though it doesn't have the hit list like Destroyer does, but you take how they learned how to write songs more efficiently with Bob Ezrin. You know, they learned so much with Destroyer, with production and everything. And I remember hearing how like some fans were disappointed in how polished Destroyer was. So they took that and were like, okay, we learned some shit with Bob Ezrin. So now we're gonna do this. To me, it's peak songwriting and cohesiveness of what 70s original lineup Kiss is.
Yeah.
Like that's the album.
Yeah.
You know, like
It's
they
like
didn't
Destroyer
hate
stripped
each other
down,
just yet.
you know?
It is. It's Destroyer with, I guess, with a rough edge. I think that's why I love it. You know, like, I mean, you play Making Love in front of any headbanger and every single person will be doing it. You know, like that's a
Making love.
yeah, like that, you know, that whole album's amazing. I mean, to me, I think that's the Kiss sounding album that everyone I think could agree on that's what Kiss sounds like.
Yeah.
It's my least favorite 70s record.
Really? Wow.
Rock and Roll Over.
I thought Love Gun was.
I
guess
actually, I would give Love Gun the edge, and this is the reason why Rock and Roll Over is my least favorite. Is I think I was never a fan of the way it sounded. I wish it sounded like Dress to Kill. Like if they're going to strip it down, I wish it had that production. Because when you listen to Rock Bottom, like the intro with the acoustic guitars, how come the intro to I Want You doesn't sound like that? It just sounds like so kind of like cheap, you know. But Eddie Kramer did that, and he also produced Love Gun, and they were back to back. But I think Love Gun sounds better. So that's why I put Love Gun slightly ahead of Rock and Roll Over. But the songs, I fucking love all the songs on there, except Baby Driver.
Do you think the reason why I love Baby Driver? Do you think maybe that like with the production and that could be like an overcorrection to the Kiss fans' criticism at the time?
Oh yeah,
Definitely.
100%.
Definitely.
Yeah, that's the reason why he did it. I'm sure.
Yeah.
Definitely. Ahmed, any thoughts on Rock and Roll Over?
Love Rock and Roll Over. Love it. I'm just gonna leave that right there. Keep it short and sweet. Love it.
Yeah.
Love I Want You. Love Take Me. Baby Driver, Love 'Em, Leave 'Em, Mr.
Yeah.
Speed. It doesn't
Mr.
stop, man.
Mr. Speed's a perfect song.
Yeah.
Like that song's just perfect.
Yep. Mike D, any comments on Rock and Roll Over?
Nah. A little
I think he hates it
overrated
already.
for me.
just
Middle
because
of
the
the
album
road.
itself is called
Middle of
Rock and
the road.
Roll.
Yeah, it was all right. It wasn't my favorite.
It's like middle of the road.
Middle of the road.
It's middle.
I'll tell you
middle of
what.
the road.
I do like this record, but the thing that made me like this record even more, I never paid attention to Love 'Em or Leave 'Em
For me?
until I seen that video. For me. And then Ahmed did a little
For
dance.
me.
Yeah, like that shit. Like,
That made it. To me, that made me like it. It really
that
did.
creeps out my best friend all the time. I sent it to him. He was weirded out by that. He's like, I don't like that. Like, and that makes it even funnier because character Gene and
I
like
think
how
it's funny.
he does that shit. Like, but yeah, I think Love and Leave and Mr. Speed, those two back to back I love it. Like
Yeah.
such a great grooving song.
For the record here, a Mixtapes and Tasty Cakes record here. So we got, if you notice, anybody that listened to the Kiss album cover episode, Rock and Roll Over also ranked number 1 for the album cover. So number 1
Wow, how
record,
about that?
Yeah.
number 1 album
Mhm.
cover. So I guess it's
overall.
the total package. Yeah. I'd like to thank Ahmed Smith for coming on. Greg Gorey, hanging out with Mike D. Angry Mike D. Damo, my boy Damo. I'm Bert Lepore.
Okay.
Cakes. Have a good Christmas. Bye.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, guys.
Merry Christmas.
Happy New Year.